Capital, they say, goes where it is welcome, and it flees where it is suffocated. Today, the Nigerian virtual asset market is worth an estimated $92 billion. We are a global powerhouse in blockchain adoption. But come to think of it, tech founders and developers don't need a physical factory to operate. All they need is a laptop and an internet connection. But if a country's tax policy becomes too hostile, what would they do? Welcome to the final part of this exclusive series on Tax Gauge. I am your host, Hala Rain. In the last episodes, we exposed how the new NRS Guidelines threaten everyday pockets of freelancers and crypto traders. Today, we are looking at the future. Are we about to drive our biggest industry out of the country? For the final time, back in the studio with us is Mr. Obinna Iwuno, a regulatory compliance specialist and the CEO of CBC Blockchain. You're welcome, Mr. Obinna. Thank you for joining us again on Tax Gauge. So we've been having a very interesting conversation, right? But what I want to talk about right now is the in the Virtual Assets Guideline. It is stated that the calculation is going to be using a USD matrix for calculation. Could you break this down for us so we can understand the import of this in the crypto market and its calculation?
Well, that's USD calculation, actually. I am not going to take the responsibility of breaking it down because I didn't write that.
Okay.
The NRS has to do that breaking down, right? Because they are the ones who can really say what their intent is or whatever it is that they intend to achieve and how they are going to calculate that. Yes, I've seen it, but it's not something that I can authoritatively tell you that, oh, this is what it means and this is how it's going to be done, because I didn't write the guideline and I don't also work at the NRS. So they are the only ones in the position to break that down, as to what it means. What is the difference between when you received it and when you're setting it, and because there seems to be like, oh, if you received it at so rate and the rate moved up, by the time you are exchanging it, you are going to pay based on, that new rate difference, which is a profit that you made and all of that. But I don't also think that there is an adverse, a reverse side of it, whereby if you receive it at so rate and the rate dropped against you, So that's why I say the NRS is in the best position to explain that clearly, so that taxpayers know what is expected of them and how they are supposed to calculate their taxes.
All right. Interesting. Now, you are, amongst the many things that you are also the founder of the Crypto Bootcamp, where you train young individuals in crypto trading and other things, right? What impact do you think this is going to have on the interest of young people in the crypto space?
Okay, so about Crypto Bootcamp. Crypto Bootcamp was not meant for crypto trading. So crypto trading is not what we train young people about. The reason why we set up Crypto Bootcamp, by the way, it's also important to note that Crypto Bootcamp is the only free blockchain community in Africa, and we are present in 15 African countries. We started from Nigeria and expanded into 15 African countries, and we've trained over 50,000 young people across Africa. So Crypto Bootcamp started as a result of my own knowledge and insights, in the blockchain industry. I mean, my entrance into this industry started more than a decade ago, just a little over a decade. And while I was in the industry at the time, there wasn't much information and knowledge available. So mostly we started by self-educating until we are able to connect with the larger global ecosystem, where we now expanded our reach, our network, even access to the resources that you could train with and all that. And when I saw the opportunities that this thing possesses, I decided that this is not something to keep, alone. It's something that everybody should know. So I decided to set up a community that will teach young Africans about blockchain and cryptocurrency for free.
Blockchain. Okay.
And we started that. Our initial cohorts had about 200 people, by the time we are ending that cohort, and we've gone ahead to do cohorts upon cohorts, spread it to different countries. And what we do is this: we teach you about blockchain and cryptocurrency so that you can understand it, know what it is, know how it functions, know what it's used for, what it can be used for. And then the next thing is, after giving you that foundational knowledge and training, we move you into skills. So we want you to acquire a skill that is relevant to the industry, so that you either become a service provider or you become an innovator. Right? And our goal is that we want to build products, and we want to see that our people are building products on this new innovation rail. Right? So that is what we have done. Now, you ask what is the effect it's going to have on those people who have passed through that system. The effect will likely be that, it costs so much. I bear a lot of cost when I open up a business, in Nigeria. So there may be that situation whereby they choose the option of being a remote worker, just do the work and earn, instead of looking like you are being punished for, for building a business, right? So yeah, those are some of the things that could likely be going on in their mind. Instead of bearing all this cost, why don't I just sit down and work and earn money, right, without all of this
hassle
implications.
All of this hassle. All right. So now to the final set of questions for this interview right now. So one of the conditions in the guideline states that it is the VASPs, that's the virtual asset service providers, and the P2P platforms that will be collecting this tax. How real is this? How is this going to happen? How is the NRS going to make this happen in practical terms? Someone who has been in the crypto space for a very long time, is this a reality?
So in that regards, I cannot say how the NRS is going to make it happen, because I don't know what mechanisms or frameworks NRS has put internally to make that happen. So until they issue that out or say something about it, we cannot say how they are going to make it happen. And I don't also think that they are currently asking for advice on how to make it happen, right? But there is another side to your question, which is on the VASPs and the P2P platforms who are going to be making these collections. So this is like making them indirect tax collectors, and they would also now have to bear custody obligations, So yeah, so that is one of the likelihood, but how they are going to make it happen, we just have to watch and see what they come up with.
So, but in the international space, benchmarking what is happening internationally with Nigeria now, is it obtainable for the VASP platforms or the P2P platforms to be collecting tax on behalf of the government?
Yes.
Sorry?
To be collecting tax on behalf of the government, it's really a dicey one.
Okay.
You know, and a situation that has to be looked at critically and very carefully.
Okay.
You know, because other than collecting the tax, it also says the tax should be collected in token. You know, and collecting the tax in the token also has its own implication. And that is something I don't know what the NRS has done about it or is thinking about it, because imagine that this tax is paid in Bitcoin and you paid 1 million naira worth of Bitcoin in taxes, and then the value of Bitcoin drops, right? If the value of Bitcoin drops, so what now happens to the taxpayers' credits? You know, that's on one side.
Okay.
But what about the government that is making budgets based on the projected revenue that is going to come from a particular sector? What is going to happen to them?
Okay.
Right? So, is it that the government is choosing to hold its revenue in a volatile currency? You know. So.
Okay. I feel what you're saying.
I mean,
yeah.
You see the thing. So it's a situation, because the VAS who are collecting it, if that person doesn't run a custody business, then you're indirectly turning them to a custodian. And then the NRS, you know, who wants to have this remitted to them in token, it's more like they are now becoming treasury managers, you know.
Okay.
So, is this something that has been thoroughly thought out? You know, yeah. So that is the lens from which I look at it from.
But practically, internationally, this has not been done before, has it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You know, there are a lot of countries doing stuff. So,
but to the best of your
knowledge, you might just search and find one, but none that I know of.
Interesting. All right. So to draw the curtain to this conversation, I know you've reiterated it in different aspects of this conversation, but basically, summarily, what's your take on this guideline and what would you recommend to be done?
So my take on the guideline is a good document. You know, it has helped to put more solidity to the industry and the ecosystem. At the same time, the guideline, you know, needs to be properly reviewed, because of some of the things that we have seen in the guideline that may not end up favoring the country in the long run. So I would say that the guideline is great, it's good. There is that clarity, you know.
Yeah.
But now there is a need for a review of the guideline because of some of its contents, right? At the end of the day, what we want to achieve is the best.
Yeah.
You know, what we want to achieve is the best. Yes.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Mr. Obinna. We really do appreciate you. Thank you for joining us from Lagos. We really do appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Hallel, and thank you all to the crew.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Can we tax our way into the future by suffocating the young people building it? We need to tax the profit and not movements. If not, we risk a repeat of a $92 billion market pack its digital bag and walk out the door, like India. Mr. Obinna Iwuno, thank you for being the voice of the industry and breaking down this so clearly for Nigerian youth for over these 2 episodes. This remains Tax Gauge, brought to you by Tax Television. You can follow us on all our social media handles as displayed on your screen, or you can visit our website, www.taxtv.ng. I remain your host, Hello Rain. This is bye for now.